Hey, John.
Hey, Jennifer, how are you?
I'm doing great. We have a lot of people watching. I didn't know that you put this on YouTube.
Yeah, I hope that's okay.
Oh, yeah. I had somebody call me from New Jersey.
Well, how cool is that?
Super cool.
Spread that word.
I'm telling you.
We'll get you some new clients.
That's right. That's right. Is it cold enough for you in Kentucky?
It certainly is. I went out this morning. I drove to Frankfurt to check the mail, and it was about 22.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, we had quite a bit of snow the last couple of days. So,
Wow.
oh, yeah. So winter suddenly arrived with a vengeance.
Oh, gosh. We got down to 38-ish last night here in South Carolina. So, everybody was in freeze mode.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, looks like we're getting a lot of folks logging on,
right
on schedule. So we'll give it a couple of more minutes and we'll start right at 2.
Let me go ahead and pull up the PowerPoint for today.
Got my hair all askew. So interestingly, my wife is doing a virtual conference.
Oh.
A 3-day conference. It's all day long, each day, different sessions. They even had last night a dinner. They took an in-person conference and made it into a virtual one. She works for the Department for Aging and Independent Living. So it's aging policy, elder care, things like that. So she did a dinner. And so they actually had you assigned to tables, and they had a table map, and you were then put in a Zoom room that was your table.
Oh, wow.
Just like you would at a regular conference. And they sat there and talked and, Oh, and the company that was sponsoring the dinner had dinner sent to the house.
Wow. Now that's super cool. That is super cool.
So yeah, Grubhub. Isn't that interesting? All sort of the innovative ways that people are sort of attacking these issues these days. So very innovative.
I tell people COVID was a blessing and a lesson.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lots to learn. Okay, gang, it is 2 o'clock and we are going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everybody again to the third in our series of conversations with Jennifer Reed of JFK Consulting. Those of you that have been with us over the previous weeks, we've talked about focus areas 1 and 2 and how you can be preparing for your reviews in this time of COVID. Last week, we talked about virtual learning of particular interest here in Kentucky now that all programs have gone virtual rather than in person. So lots of tools out there. So today's conversation sort of dovetails with last week's. Whereas last week we were focused on virtual learning, how you can be engaging with children and families. This week we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the other business aspects of Head Start and how you can be using virtual and remote tools in order to deal with policy councils, deal with employees, all the sort of work that has to go on. So Jennifer has a lot of ideas and thoughts to share with us. So we will kick it to her. Jennifer, thanks again for being with us.
Oh, anytime, anytime. And thank you, John, for inviting me and the great state of Kentucky. To me, you guys are the state of the open sandwich. You guys have like the mashed potatoes, the turkey with the nice slices of bread and the gravy over it. Warms my soul when I think of about Kentucky. So let's get started. Virtual, virtual, virtual. Everything now is virtual. John was just telling me about virtuality and Grubhub and all this. Exactly. Everything is virtual. And we still have to keep up with the business of Head Start. Again, if you were not computer savvy, you have became computer savvy. As always, we'll have the questions to go in the Q&A box. And if you have a burning desire and question, just raise your hand and we can definitely get the answer or hopefully get the answer to you, okay? Let's just jump right in it. How to host policy council and board meetings. These are going to be key because you still remember the very first week we talked about how Head Start, none of the rules were waived, and you were still supposed to be good stewards of the financial portion of Head Start. This is a part of it. Policy council and board meetings. You should still have your board meetings monthly or whatever your policies and procedures say. But here are some nuggets. Make sure you email all agendas out before the session. You notice I didn't say the word meeting because it's a session now. Whether it's on Zoom, Google Meet, Dojo, Meet Team Meets, everybody came up with something different. Make sure you email out the agenda before the session and put a star by this. Make sure when you email this, the agendas out, that when they open up the email, you get the response email that somebody has opened the email. And that's a good way of accountability to show that you send it out and the person opened it. If you have individuals that still require you to mail out, that's something different. But if they're jumping on the Zoom, they still have to open up their email. So just please make sure that. Take roll. Here's a key thing. When you're having your Zoom board and policy council meetings, they need to turn their cameras on. They also need to be in a room without other individuals around them. Because a lot of this stuff is private information that you are having to talk about with your Head Start program. This is not a public meeting. So again, with your policy council and your board meetings, you have to have rules. Rule number 1, please do not be in Starbucks with the meeting on live or whatever. Please be in a quiet, isolated room where it's just, hopefully just you, or at home in another room. You don't want the business of your Head Start program floating through the community. It's probably already floating, but you guys have the true business of it because you do terminations, you do hiring, you guys talk about your financial statements, and these things are not for everyone's ears. Take your role, make sure that everybody's camera is on because we need to see your face. Take minutes. Put your secretary up at the top. She needs to take minutes. Or either you can just record the whole meeting and then she can take her minutes from that. But recording the meeting works best. Make sure during the meeting, how I have this beautiful screen here, make sure that you have the agenda so individuals will know what's coming up next. And when you guys have to go into private rooms, when you have to go into those sessions, when you will normally walk executive sessions, go into a private Zoom room. Because when you go into executive sessions, everyone doesn't go. So please make sure that you have that available, a private Zoom room. And if you want to record that, you can. But again, please have availability of the private Zoom rooms. All right. Any questions? I want to pause before we go to parent meetings because this one right here is going to be one of the more the more complex ones. Please make sure you're still following all of the same rules, You still have to make sure that you disclose all of your financial statements, all of the Head Start Director, CACFP, if you're still using that. And you should have definitely a special section in there about COVID-19. Where are you going forward? You should be reporting out. Please take note of this. You should be reporting out how many hours you guys are having contact with your families as it relates to virtual studies, because all of you are virtual. Please make sure that you note how many children you are serving. Please make sure that you know how many staff that you have. And, make sure that you're talking about your plans moving forward. For example, we help programs create the policies and the procedures of coming back to school, post-COVID and all of that. But you have to make sure that you're letting your board know what's going on. Please, all of the IMs, I would definitely do board meetings where I will replay some of the camp sessions for the board members so that they can truly understand what's going on with Head Start as we're moving into this new treading water of COVID-19. Please also make sure that your board members are abreast of any changes that may come down the pipe as it relates to you and your Head Start program. Now, the liaison is, again, she's on the parent side and the board side. All right? All righty then. Now for the fun stuff, right? Parent meetings. Guess what? Let's make them fun. And then we're going to ask you guys for some ideas that you do so that we can kind of just share all the different ideas. And the ideas that I don't have here that I get from you, I will add them to the slideshow and I will send it to John when this is over. So again, let's make them fun. Fun is the key because the average person is zoomed out. When I say zoomed out, yesterday I went to 3 different states and never left my home. I went to Maryland, I went to Los Angeles, California, and I ended up in Columbia, South Carolina. Today, I've already been to Orangeburg, South Carolina. Now I'm in Kentucky, and I'm finishing up in Columbia again. You can be everywhere on Zoom and never left your office or your home. So again, fun is going to be your key. So here are some fun family activities that you can actually do. You can even contract out some of your parent meetings because if you are zoomed out and deflated with fun, get somebody else who has a lot of fun left in them. And once parents know that, hey, these parent meetings are super fun, they're more likely to attend. Just like in person. If your parent meetings were super fun in person, guess who came? The families. All right, here we go. Sip, juice, and paint. So you guys at the Head Start Center, the parents can come and pick up a small canvas. I'm going to show you one that we did right here with the Head Start program. It was already pre-drawn out for the families. Only thing they had to do was come pick it up. We gave each family one of these right here so that they can actually do the painting. And we gave them one of these right here, $3, dollar store, dollar store, dollar store, $3 per parent. And they came by the school and they picked it up. Also, with this right here, if you have like the food, I think the program did a food distribution that same day. So they was coming for more than that. And we did the paint, sip, juice, and paint with the family, and the kids and the families truly, truly enjoyed it. We had music playing. We took selections from the audience as long as it was family friendly. These are some of the different activities for parent activities that, that you need to have. Bingo, great math skills for the families. The winner of the bingo actually got to kick off the next game. You can have people to sponsor gifts for the winners, and all you have to do is either have them come by the center and pick up their prizes, or you can actually mail it to them, okay? But bingo is super cool to play, and especially across Zoom with a whole lot of different people. Have a chef night. Nutrition. Nutrition is going to be key. Hold up, I have a question. Okay, how do you purchase supplies for parent activities, paint cap? You can actually, there are a lot of different ways that you can do it. Supplies, you have others in your budgets that you can actually use. However, it is the most legal way that you do it. I am not finance. Our company, we actually sponsored this right here for a large group of the program. But again, your CFO will know exactly how to purchase it. Some programs even allow the children to use the regular paint paper that was at the program. All right, so please check with your CFO to make sure that you are purchasing it the correct way. Again, I am not finance. I have never claimed to be finance, but however you can purchase it, please make sure that's how you do that, okay? And for the anonymous attendee, I will find out exactly how the programs are purchasing their information, and I'll get it back to John. And if he knew who you were or are, we can get you a direct answer, okay? All righty. Have a chef night. Super cool, super cool. The chef night, you basically send the recipe to the school ahead of time. Please make sure that these are like some of the most common things that most families have in their homes, like chicken, ground beef, you know, things that are not very expensive for the family to have. And a lot of programs they're doing meals under $10 or meals under $7. I went to one, it was a meals, I think it was meals under $6 that can still feed a family of 6. Super cool. And it was lentil beans and rice with a seasoned salad, and it was something else. It was a bread. It wasn't a bread pudding, but it was a kind of sweet bread. All of that under $6, and it still fed a family of 6. And somebody's gonna say, well, what about all the onions and all this stuff? This guy gave some of the best methods. He said, for example, if you live by a Kroger or a Publix that, you know, that used to have like the salad bars, and you just go in there, you get your seasons, like your diced onions, and you can get a quarter of a pound of onions already chopped up for like 63 cents, because remember, they're weighing it now. So it's not like you're buying a whole bag of onions. It was just amazing how this guy did all of this. But the meals are, another one did a taco night. And, you know, he goes through all of the steps, just how we're on Zoom now. The families will already have the recipes. They will already have their ingredients out, and everybody just cooks together. And the good thing about, and what I liked about this one is, guess what? The chef makes sure that the child is an active participant in this. I know another one, they do like crock pot meals, meals that you put everything in the crock pot and just, you know, let it go. Because families are super busy now. You know, they have their kids, they have multi-generational homes now, but this is a really cool one. Another good one, I know that they did, it was pizza. And they took regular white sliced bread and made pizza. He did another one with pita bread pizza. Super cool and creative. So chef night is another great family activity. Literacy night. You can actually purchase books for your program so that everybody can have the same book. You can actually do a book read over Zoom where you're just using the YouTube books and showing the family the importance of literacy. One great thing that YouTube has done, especially for me, is any book that I can think of, it is on YouTube. So I want you to kind of just think about a literacy night. So think about having books read to families, and showing mom and showing dad how that they can pull the same books that the child would have had in school at home. That's key. Most families are turning their homes into classrooms because they have one in Head Start, probably one in middle school and one in high school or elementary. So they had to turn their homes into a school. So showing them the same things that you're doing, that's what they're doing. And we have to remember, parents is the child's first teacher. However, you were their teacher. So just, be patient with mom, because she has to understand what you're talking about and why you're telling her to do what you're doing. Slime night. I have some super cool, and I will attach the recipe, my slime recipes, to this right here. All about science, 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 science night. You can actually do a series of science night. Also, making the slime fun is super fun. Kids love it. It keeps them busy. It keeps some grown folks busy as well for a while. So just think about that. A slime night is super cool for you, for your family meetings, parent meetings. Do a scavenger hunt. I don't know how locked down that Kentucky is, but do a scavenger hunt. Here are some simple things: pictures of a bird nest, somebody in the same, like somebody in the bathroom stall, a picture of their feet. Have your family create a human pyramid, find a statue, take a picture of a napkin. And then when you say, oh, I'm looking for a pine tree, and the first person who posts their pine tree gets a point. Make it into a super fun game. Find something that has a capital P in it. Those are the hard ones, or the letter I or the letter K. You will have families tearing up their house looking for a Kellogg's box. Trust and believe. A road sign. We did one where you had to find a sign that was outside that was your same age. People who were like 20, 25, 15, 40, 45, yeah, they had it super easy because they just went by a speed limit sign and did this. But someone who's 43, it was kind of complicated. So just kind of think about that right there. A 3-pointed leaf, super hard. Make some of them hard and make some of them simple so that they can do it. But you can see yourself having a lot of fun with this right here. How to document it. Documentation is going to be key. Document how you've normally documented. Take your pictures, attach it, and do a write-up. That's it. It is nothing hard about it. But I'm going to go here, and can we get some suggestions of other things that you have probably done for parent activities? You can raise your hand, you can put it in question and answers, or you can put it in the chat box. I'm going to see if I can see the chat. And we have Leap here from New Jersey. Hey, all right. So we have Miss Sonia West, and she said nature walks. Have families have a Zoom or nature walk. Super cool. Kentucky, you have some of the most beautiful landscapes ever. Trust and believe. I've done a lot of reviews there back in the day. And when I say beautiful landscapes, drop-offs, it looks like cliffs, you have it. And then as you're doing your nature walk, have everybody stop and say something about what they see. That is super cool. John, can you please unmute Leap? She had her hand raised.
One moment.
Okay.
Should be able to.
All right, Leap, you are unmuted. Can you unmute? Lakewood, New Jersey. Laura. All right, I think she's having some difficulties, but she raised her hand. And Laura is all the way from New Jersey. Thanks for coming, Laura. All right, so Carrie, and yes, if you have Ready Rosie or Conscious Discipline parent curriculum, they do offer parent meeting ideas, and a lot of those ideas are some of the ones that I have shared. Oh, she says she's unable to unmute. Oh, okay. So definitely look at your Ready Rosie and Conscious Discipline. Also, take a survey. Say, what kind of family activities would you like to do as it relates to the program? A program, they're going to have a Christmas carol, and they're going to get on Zoom and sing Christmas carols. I thought it was kind of strange, but that's what the families wanted to do. They wanted to get together because they normally go to the nursing home and sing Christmas carols to the elderly. So they're going to do the Christmas carols on the Zoom. I thought that was super cool. It was strange, but it was super cool. She says health services did a Zoom meeting on flu and flu vaccine with parents. Definitely hit those hot spots such as COVID-19, what to expect for COVID, the signs and the symptoms. The signs and the symptoms are changing each and every day to me, but make sure you keep up with all the CDC recommendations, as well as please make sure when the flu vaccine is available in your state, please let your parents know the information that they need to know, and let them know who's getting it first, second, or third. But yes, having those different meetings about health, nutrition, finance. One program did their financial literacy one last week, and it was on saving money, being frugal with money, showing families how to coupon during these times. Definitely, Robinhood came up, and Robinhood is like an online stock thing where it shows you how to, do stocks yourself. So a lot of different things, but the couponing one was really cool. I coupon a little bit. I'm not the one who can get $200 worth of food for $3, but I can see a huge saving when I coupon. So please make sure that you get the literacy, the math night, the health, the safety, and the financial literacy. Make sure you get those 5 parent meetings because you would have done them anyway face to face, but make sure you have those done. Miss Autumn says that the Autumn Wilder Mountain Heritage, that's where she's from. So just kind of think about the nature walks. Here's a good thing. I don't know about you, but if I was in Kentucky, I know you guys have horses galore, that's the myth. But if you do have horses, it would be good to have a horse night. If a family has horses, they can show off their horses to the other families, or either if in the community. I remember, I think I was in Blue Ridge, and behind the Head Start Center, it was a beautiful field of nothing but horses. I was at the top of the mountains, but the beautiful field of nothing but horses. So kind of, use your natural scenery to do a lot of your videos. John told me you guys had snow, opportunities to unfold. Snow night, tell families, hey, let's go get some snow in a cup and let's observe it. Or either you can make ice snow cones, with regular ice and the blender, or either you don't even need a blender. You can shave the ice, get a cheese grater, and you can shave the ice to make snow cones. It is a lot of super cool different ways that you can do a lot of fun activities with your families. All right. Musical ideas. Oh, making music. Have a band. A lot of our parents have some of the most unique gifts, and we just don't tap into it. Have a music night. Ask some of the parents, hey, do you play an instrument? You will never know until you ask. And then, make sure that you say, okay, can you teach us something? Or either we'll listen at you play music. I remember this one program, they had a spa night, right? And they told, only thing they did, they played spa music. And they told the families, turn the lights down low. They said if you had a candle, light the candle, and they told them to cover their eyes either with a pillowcase or either the eye coverings, and they just kind of listened at the spa music. It was a mental health one, just to relax. They did a lot of breathing exercises just to relieve the stress. Also, I remember this one because a friend of mine, she did this one. They did a Zumba night. Health and fitness is key. trust and believe, quarantine brings on a lot. And if you're like me, this is what I do a lot with quarantine. I do 2-ounce curdles. I eat a lot. I eat a lot. I eat a lot. I eat a lot of especially junk food. So health and fitness is great. Do a Zumba night. Do a dance night. Do a dance off with your families. Super cool. You will see the rhythm and the rhythmless in your program. So, just have fun with it and make sure that you preview all of your music before you play it so that you don't have any uh-oh moments, okay? Snow cream. Can you unmute Vanessa? I can pronounce that one. That's my sister's name. John.
Which Vanessa?
Flinchcomb? Flinchum.
All right, she should be able to talk.
Hi, Vanessa. You're still muted.
Hello.
Hey, Vanessa. How do you pronounce your last name?
Flinchum.
Flinchum. I was close. How do you make snow cream?
You'll go take a cup and go out and get you some snow or put it in a cup or a bowl. And you'll bring it back again, and you got little cans of cream, like the sweet cream.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just add it in there. And you can also add like some kind of food coloring or something to make it fun.
Wow. Where are you from in Kentucky?
So, Lee County.
That's very northern Kentucky?
Eastern.
Okay. Super cool. If we probably would have gotten the snow that you had, the whole state would have been shut down. We're about to go into a freeze zone in South Carolina, and it's almost 50 degrees now. But if you were to look at people, they have on their boots, their heavy coats and everything. And I'm like, it's almost 50 degrees. I'm originally from New Jersey, so I'm like, it's not that cold. But again, it's super cool that you can go outside and make snow cream and where you're fun. And families, I guess that's something that you guys normally do in that region.
Yeah.
Super cool. Super cool. Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
All right, let's go back to the chat. Yes, Zumba is, and line dancing. Tammy, can you unmute Tammy? Tammy, Caudill.
Dill. Caudill.
Caudill. Hey,
Yes.
Tammy.
Yes.
Let's talk about line dancing.
Well, we have a grandparent who she doesn't teach it professionally, but she knows them. She knows them all. So she came in, and I think this was when the Get Up was really popular.
Mm-hmm.
The Get Up and the Cowboy Boogie and all this stuff. And she was teaching after the parent meeting. She actually taught some of our parents how to do a couple of line dances. And she's actually a grandparent who had a grandchild in the program, and they had the most fun. It was amazing just watching them. And it was just like, they were laughing with each other, because some of those moves can be really hard and really complicated. But she had them in stitches. It was wonderful. Of course, we did that in person. And we haven't actually done that virtually, but that is something that I think would be great to do. And like you said, with the physical activity and everybody being stuck at home right now, and we need that little boost. So we also thought about Fitbit groups for some of our staff who have those Fitbits that we know that have them, all us joining in together and actually doing a little competition with the steps during this time, just so that we can get that physical activity in.
Okay. That is a good one, a Fitbit. And don't forget the Apple Watch group. You can link them up and you can challenge each other. I know with my Fitbit, I used to challenge my other friends, and I don't know. I think one of my friends used to put her Fitbit on her child, because I'm like, it is no way a grown person is doing this much walking all day. But I have to keep remembering that she was a nurse and she did a lot of
Okay.
walking throughout the day, up and down at the hospital. But yeah, the Fitbit challenge is a really good one, or either just challenging people just to get up and move. I
Yeah.
do know the little walking meters you can get, very inexpensive.
The pedometers, yes.
Yeah, the pedometers. Get those for your families. I have a question for everybody, and you probably can answer this. How are you purchasing items for your families? Like, I know I had the anonymous person asked about how do you purchase it? What are you using?
Well, we have in our budget a line item that is specifically for family and community partnerships. And we also have a budget that's for, a line item that's for meeting expense.
Mm-hmm.
So we can purchase materials for the meetings through that, or we do readathons and things like that. And we buy prizes through that family and community partnership fund, because they actually put proposals in as to this is what we're going to do. And, one of the counties actually had a readathon where whoever read the most books,
Mm-hmm.
we actually, one of the children won a bicycle.
Mm.
So they just had to, and it's the 50 books that they want all children to read before they enter kindergarten. And we
Mm-hmm.
had purchased individual sets of those, and then we had at the center, and then they were also at the local libraries. The Early Childhood Counsel had made sure that they were in the local library, so they could either pick them up at the center or they could check them out at the library. So once they completed those and completed their little certificate where the book was finished, then their name was in a drawing for the bicycle. And it worked out really, really well. Really
Super
well.
cool, super cool. And also ask like your vendors and stuff to donate items so that you can have a lot of different prizes. But that is super cool. And thanks so much for sharing, Tammy.
You're
Tammy
welcome.
gave a lot of great ideas. So for the anonymous attendee, make sure you go to the appropriate line item, and that's how you can purchase your stuff. I have a Miss Ashley H. She says, my sister and I use fresh snow and Kool-Aid to make slushies. Oh my gosh, you guys are making me so jealous with the snow. I'm from New Jersey. Ashley,
Yes.
so go ahead and finish making me jealous with your snow.
So I learned this trick from my grandma. When we were little, we would go out and we'd get like 3 inches, 4 inches of snow when we were little, and we would take off like an inch of that layer where it's fresh snow, nothing's touched it. We would scoop it in a bowl, make Kool-Aid in a mason jar, and we would pour the Kool-Aid onto the snow, and then we'd put it in cups, and there you go, slushy.
Oh, wow. Slushies, fresh slushies at that. Thank you so
And it's
much.
really good. The fresh snow, it just makes it have a different taste, in my opinion.
You're the first person to say that the fresh snow gives it a different taste. Now, when I go back to New Jersey, if we can even go to New Jersey this year, definitely, hopefully it snows. I got caught in New York a few years ago when they had almost like the 30 inches of snow. So that would have been a lot of fresh snow we could have used. But yeah, I definitely will keep that in mind. So, and that will be a good one that if you're up north for a family activity. But thank you so much, Miss Ashley H.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right, any more ideas? A dog walking night, or either, a lot of programs, a parent night, again, they walk their dogs. They showed off their dogs, they showed off what kind it was, and they walked and they talked. A lot of things now is all about having a conversation. Conversations are key, and just not with the individuals in your home, but with other people, because being in quarantine, it plays, it's a mind game. It really is. So again, documentation is going to be key. Questions. 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 I see something in the chat box. Nope, that's Miss Mona. So to wrap this all up, I definitely need for everybody to, everybody, let's just take a deep breath, and this too shall pass. Make sure that everything that you're doing, you're documenting at a lot of different points of the day. Just think about, is this best for my program? Am I following the CDC guidelines? And is this being financially responsible for my program? For example, if you are, all of you guys in Kentucky are virtual. So please make sure with your virtual lessons, who am I trying to say this? Directors, I need directors. And I got my eyes closed because I'm looking at people now. I need my directors and I need my education people to make sure that you are holding your staff accountable of logging on with their staff, with their parents. You're making sure that you are, you know how long they're providing services. No one has never gave a specific time limit, but if the Office of Head Start said that a home visit should at least be 90 minutes, that's the kind of time frame that if it was my program, I would definitely use for my teacher staff. Make sure that every family gets minimum 90 minutes. And I kind of showed you a virtual lesson last week that will provide that. And then you do a group setting. You still have to document. Your educational staff still has to do their checkpoints. You guys still have to do anecdotal notes. They still must do their your 45 and your 90 days. Please make sure that with that. Now, the Office of Head Start did say that they're not going to mark you in non-compliance, but they did not say you did not have to do it. You still have to do it. I was with a group yesterday and I said, don't make this a gap year. I have never heard of a gap year until my little niece, she said, oh, Auntie, I'm going to do a gap year. And I was so confused about what is a gap year. I'm just not going to go to college this year. I'm just going to hang low and kind of figure something out. Don't let this be your gap year in your Head Start program. I need for you, this is your tighten up year. This is the year that you could have all different kinds of trainings for your staff. Your staff is virtual. You can have somebody training your staff every day if you wanted them to. You can have your staff doing something every day. This is the time. And I want you to think about this. If your staff was struggling traditionally, don't you think they're truly struggling virtually? You're going to have to make sure that you are supporting your staff during this virtual time frame. We have to remember everybody is not tech savvy, so we have to make sure that the items and the things that we're doing, it is complacent, it is conducive for everyone to use. For example, you have to make sure that all of your teachers know how to get on Zoom. They know how to get on Google Meets. They know how to get on Dojo Classrooms and all of those other things. Don't assume that they know how to do it. Don't look at a millennium or Gen X and say, train this one. You have to make sure that everybody is trainable and can train. And make sure on all of these Zoom trainers, ask, we good? Are we clear? Do you understand? Because if not, go back over it a different way. I want you to think about it like this. I like to cook because I like to eat. And my brother-in-law is a 5-star chef. And when he's cooking and he's doing all this, he's telling me, I need for you to prep this, and this. And I'm lost. And I learned a valuable lesson. He said, that's the same way some of your teachers are when you're telling them to do something. Break it down to them. And that's what I want you to remember. And that's what I want you to do to the state of Kentucky. Break it down to your teaching staff. And if you don't understand, there are plenty of consultants out here that can help you. Please don't be afraid to call on one of your neighboring Head Start programs and say, hey, how you doing this? Or are you struggling with this? Because I am. We're all in this together. Trust and believe. The commercials have been true. We are all in this together. So please make sure you guys still have to have staff meeting. You still have to have staff meetings. So, and in your staff meetings, please have the agendas out. And with your agendas, please make sure that we're following our agendas. Please make sure that, hey, during the staff meeting, we're saying, hey, what are our strengths? Hey, write this down, everyone. Do a SWOT analysis at every staff meeting with your staff. Say, hey, what are our strengths? Where have we been Kentucky strong this week? Where have we been strong? What are our weaknesses? What are our opportunities? And what are some of our threats? And you need to look at those because we're in a virtual world right now. And from the way it's going, we're kind of going to be virtual for a minute. And some people, this is going to be the new normal. This will be the new normal for a lot of individuals. So we're going to have to kind of function in this new normal way, whether virtual or not. I know for me, at 9 o'clock every morning virtually, if I'm trying to get on virtual, that's when all the kiddos in the community start school. So my internet kind of jaggers a little bit for the first few minutes. So I kind of either schedule before or after 9 to make sure that I'm on. And it's all about planning. Planning is key. I know I'm going to sound like somebody beating an old horse. Planning is key. Planning, planning, planning. If you don't plan as a teacher, you're not going to have great virtual lessons. If you don't plan as your family service worker, you're not going to have great communications with your families. Remember, you still have to do that family assessment. And people call it a lot of different things, but where the families put their goals, you still have to do that. So you need to plan on how we're going to get these done and how we're going to keep checking on you and providing resources to get them done. If you're not a planning education manager, how are you doing in-service and pre-service? You still need to do those. If you don't plan as the health manager, how are you ensuring that all of your kiddos are receiving their 45 and 90-day visits? If you're not planning as the nutrition person, how we ensure that families are not having food insecurities? If you're not planning as the Head Start director, guess what? We're gonna have a lot of issues going. If we're not planning as the CFO, we're gonna struggle financially. And as the executive directors of these programs, you're sitting at 35,000 feet above everybody looking down. You may need to come down and get on the dance floor and dance with us because you need to know how we're actually feeling, what we're actually doing. And I know this is not virtual, but I just felt that somebody needed to hear that. We just cannot just stay in our own corner or stay in our own little box because it's 273 boxes up here now, but we just can't stay in our own box. We have to venture out of our box to make sure that everything is planned because we're in a virtual world. And doing this virtually, we have to make sure that it is done right because it's something new to everybody. And we're finding out what somebody else is doing and we're making it a little bit better. But at the end of the day, do the best that you can do. And if you know that that is the best that you can do, just say, hey, this is what I do. This is what we did. And it was great. Share your experiences. Send pictures to John so he can put it on the Kentucky Head Start Association webpage so that everybody around the state can do this right here. These meetings here are awesome. We have people outside of Kentucky that came on. So it's great news and great information for a lot of different individuals. So I'm going to end by saying, if you have any questions, I'm here. I am here for you. My email is here. John is here. John knows how to get in touch with me at the drop of a dime. And again, thanks for all of the inquiries about the virtual studies that I received last week for programs and all the emails of, the encouraging words. My goal to you virtually as Kentucky Head Start programs, send 3, I'm thinking of you. 4 words in an email, since we're talking about virtual. In every department. Head Start directors, send it to your staff. Education managers, you do 4 teachers. Family advocates, send out to 4 parents. I'm thinking of you. That's it. And watch how you make somebody smile. So if you have any questions, I will entertain them at the moment. No questions. Well, John, I want to thank you so much. Oh, you guys are so welcome. I want to thank you for inviting me here. I hope that something was said or done that actually helped somebody. And again, if you need us, we're here for you, because at the end of the day, I want everybody to be successful in everything that they do. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I'm going to add the other ideas like the snow cream, the music night, the Zoom night. I'm going to add this to the PowerPoint and get this over to John. I have Miss Kayla Pike. She raised her hand. Oh, Chris Holiday, you're so much welcome. Kayla, did you mean to raise your hand? Oh, yes. Misty said, can we get a copy of the scavenger hunt? Yes, Misty, you can definitely get it. It's going to be in the PowerPoint. So just pull it out the PowerPoint. I hope that helps out.
Yeah, Kayla, if you have a comment, you can unmute yourself now.
I apologize. I hit that by accident.
Oh, it's no problem. Oh,
It's a happy accident.
Yes, right. Yay, it's over, right? But oh, I'm gonna miss you guys because you guys were great participants. Over 270 people each week. So again, and they said they enjoyed all of them, John. So
I think so. It's really good stuff, and we've got them up on YouTube, and I've put them up on our website just today. So I really appreciate you again making time to visit with the Head Start professionals across Kentucky. We continue to have modules like this and training sessions. And if there are any suggestions, I would encourage folks to send us an email at KHSA. Let us know the topics that you need training on, and we'll be more than happy to help provide it. So with that, I just want to thank Jennifer again for making time and for responding very quickly to the idea to put these together and to visit with the folks in Kentucky. So Jennifer, thank you so much. And I want to wish everyone a happy holiday season.
Thank you guys. Be safe, everyone.